Okay, so what we have here, guys, is first of all, plot W, no bother. W is 3 minus 2i. So 3 minus 2i is here. That is W. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is multiply minus I by W. And minus I times W is minus 3i plus 2i squared. And that's minus 2 minus 3i. So where's minus 2 minus 3i? Yeah, actually went clockwise, didn't it? Minus 2 minus 3i. So minus IW is located here. So the first one was here, and the second one is here. That means it went 90 degrees clockwise. Is that okay? Now guys, you may be inclined to think that every single time you multiply by minus I, you're going to keep going around in a circle. I don't think that's going to happen if I remember correctly. Let's find out. The next one we have to do is minus I squared W. Now we discussed this yesterday. Minus I squared is minus minus 1. And what's minus minus 1? 1. And if you multiply 1 by W, it stays the same. So it actually went back to where it started. So we started at W, we multiplied it by minus I, and it went to here. Then we multiplied it by minus I again, and it went back again. So it went back to where it started. So W and minus I squared W are actually the same location. Okay? Let's have another look at then minus I squared W. I cubed W, sorry. So minus I cubed W is the same thing as, we discussed what I cubed was, didn't we? Right. It's I squared by I, which is minus 1 I. What's minus minus 1i? Just I, isn't it? So next we're working on IW. What is IW? So I times W is going to be 3 minus 2i, and that will give me an answer. 3i minus 2i squared, which is 2 plus 3i. And that's unusual, okay? This is behaving in an erratic fashion. Okay? Recording. Alright? Yes, erratic. Now, what we're going to get next, guys, is 2 plus 3i minus I cubed W. Now we can see that if we just map its progress, W was here, minus IW was here, minus I squared W was here, and now minus I cubed W is up there. So, as you can see, there's no trend emerging. Guys, next what we're going to do is minus I to the power of 4 W. Now, we all learned that I4 means what? How many degrees rotation? And 360 means you've done nothing. 360 is the same as nothing, isn't it? Because you rotate all the way back to the start. So essentially you're just multiplying this by minus 1. So it's going to be minus 1 times W. Because I4 is the same as doing 1. Same as doing nothing. So you're going to do minus 1 times 3 minus 2i. And oddly enough, you end up going to, what you end up doing there? Minus 3 plus 2i squared, which is minus 3 minus 2. Yeah, that's extreme. So you end up here, and you end up going all the way back across over here. So it really has no pattern when you multiply by minus I. The gist of this question is, when you keep multiplying by plus I, you go anti-clockwise 90 degrees each time. When you keep multiplying by minus I, there's no pattern. That's what we're trying to get at here. That's the point of the question. Multiply by I, there's a pattern. Multiply by minus I over and over again, there's not a pattern. Okay? Alright, let's move on. Okay, explain why W and I squared W have the same. Oh, I see why this is so difficult now. It's obviously a misprint.
Yeah, that's right.
What? Yeah, it's a misprint. Sorry, just seeing that now. These should have all been just regular. Okay, we can probably leave this question alone now in a minute. Look, I'll quickly do this. Why did W and I squared W have the same position? Because I to the power 4 means you rotate 360 degrees. Okay. Is I squared W the same as minus I squared W? Actually, we did that. Whereas I squared W was here. Minus I squared W is located down here. And what about I squared W? What is I squared W, guys? I squared W will be minus 1 times W. And minus 1 times W is minus 3 plus 2I. They're not the same. Because one of them is down here and the other one is up here. So they're not the same. Okay?
I just like wrote out like minus 3I, minus 2I, minus 3I plus 2I, and then I just wrote it off.
Yeah, that would be enough. Yeah. Alright, guys, what does 3IW do? What's the geographical interpretation of 3IW? 3 times the length and rotate W by 90 degrees in what direction? 90 degrees anti-clockwise. 90 degrees anti-clockwise and increase length by 3. Sorry, increase the length by a factor of 3. What's the difference between by 3 and by a factor of 3? What's the difference in the language? Factor of 3 means you're multiplying it by 3. You're making it 3 times longer. If you say by 3, it means you're just adding on 3. Does everybody get that? Alright, so we already discussed that in depth, what multiplying by 3i actually does. Alright, weird question. 6 is a bit better. Alright, 6. Peter, where's Z located? So where's that? 2 what? And 1 up, yeah? Okay, Dermot, where is W? So, up or down? Right. So that's Z and that's W. Done. Verify that W minus Z equals 5. Okay. First thing I need to do is find out what W and Z actually are. Okay. So we'll find that out now. 1 sec. 2x. Alrighty. So, what's W left? W is minus 1 minus 3i, and Z is minus 2 plus I. So the minus multiplies in, and what happens then? Yeah, minus 2 minus I. Yeah, what happens after that? Minus 3 minus. Alright. Have I successfully got the answer to question 2 yet?
No.
What do these two vertical lines mean? It means get the modulus, which involves a square root. Okay. Cormac, what goes in the first bracket? The minus 3 and here. And the answer is 5 when you put it into the calculator. It says verify. What does that mean? The answer definitely had to be 5. Verify means the answer definitely had to be 5. Okay. We all good? I'll make that. Why is the square root not minus 5? Good question. Length can only ever be positive. Remember, modulus means how far it is away from the origin. So when you measure distance, you always say it's positive 5 as opposed to negative 5. Okay. Good call on that. That it can be plus 5 or minus 5 when you square root it.
So I didn't put it
Did you get it right?
Yeah, but I still use minus yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm wrong. That's me wrong.
Oh, that's what it says.
So, sorry, yeah. That's me wrong. Both of them are the same then. So then you get the same answer, but I did make a mistake. I would have lost the mark there just by having it correct. Now, let's move on. Draw a set of k of all complex numbers that is a distance of 5 from z. Here's z. How would you draw an object that's guaranteed to be a distance of 5 away from it? Anybody get this one? Yeah, who said draw a circle? There you go. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is, not that anyway, hoping to, so I just draw this across 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right to the edge actually, as it turns out. And, man, it's difficult. Alright, let's see if I get this. Oh, no. This geometric figure represents all the points that are a distance of 5 away from point Z. Is that okay? The circle. What type of shape is it? It happens to be a circle. Let u equal to minus 2 plus 4i. So where's minus 2 plus 4i? Just there, isn't it? And what they're asking is u on k? Is your u on, is it actually? Or just my diagram slightly off, is it? Alright. So I was meant to do that, but we will revisit my compass usage and we will go for a proper circle, like so. And minus 2, 4 is still missing it. It's close, but it's slightly outside it. So I'd say no, it's not an element. No, it's outside. What? Oh, I actually am. Oh, let's try this one more time. Sorry, Matthew. Shouldn't have doubted you. Alright, let's try this one more time. I'll go from Z to W, and I think what sometimes happens is, do you know when you make the points too thick, you actually get an error. So let's try. What's W again? 3 what? Yeah. Oh, Matthew's right. Alright. Matthew, it is on the circle. So yes, it is on the circle. Alright, lads, that is a common error though when you're drawing the circle, is that if you make the what's the point Z again? 2, 2, is it, or was it?
No, it's 2, 1.
2, 1. If you make the point too thick and you draw the circle from that, you can make errors like I just did. So a key thing in your exam, now this actually does save you marks, is the key thing is just to make really small points when you're dotting them, so then you won't make that type of error. Do you get what I'm saying? If you go straight from the cross, those errors don't exist. Okay? Now, write the image of W under central symmetry in Z. Now, W was located, is that W? Or this one's W? Thanks. Now, you have to do central symmetry in Z, which means you go to Z and you go out the exact same amount out the other side. So you go to Z, and then you go out the same amount out the other side. That's central symmetry. And where do you end up?
5, 5.
You end up at 5, 5. So that's central symmetry right there. That's 5 plus 5i. Okay? And that's that question done. Now, the only question I have left before we move on is question A. In fact, question A is quite difficult, but we'll work with it. Okay? What can you say about Z1 and Z3? Can anybody tell me? Z1 and Z3. I think they have to be in the same direction. Can anybody tell me why they have to be in the same direction? Why does Z1 and Z3 have to be in the same direction? What does it say about Z3? It's K multiplied by Z1. Make up a number for Z1. Just make up 2 positive numbers, John. Pick them out. Okay. 6 plus 9i. Okay. If I multiply that by any number possible, so let's say I multiply it by 3, and I get 18 plus 27i. Do you notice they still have the same slope? They're still going in the same direction. It's just that Z3 would be 3 times larger than Z1. Is there any 2 points that are on the same line as each other? Which 2 do you think? I think these 2 are on the same point line as each other. Would you agree with that? So So what does that mean? One of them said 1 and the other one is said 3. The problem is I don't know which one's which at the moment. Does that make sense? Now, what happens when you multiply by I? What happens when you multiply by I? You rotate at 90 degrees, but do you increase the distance from the origin? No. So, I think we now know which one Z1 and Z2 are. Because they have to be the same distance from the origin. So which one's Z1? That one. Z2? That one. And by process of elimination, Z3. And the last one. And you're done. Now, if any of you are wondering what's the deal with Z2 plus Z3, well, what that means is that if you look at the two lines going to Z2, imagine you start at the start and you're here, and I ask you to run to Z2. So you start at 0, 0, you run to Z2. Now I'm asking you to run in the same direction as Z3. Where'd you end up? Z4. And that's why Z4 is the same as Z2 plus Z3. Alright, really quickly, what's the value of K? How much bigger is Z3 compared to Z1? Twice the size. You could measure it with a ruler if you have to. Definitely twice the size. Identify which numbers, and we've labelled all the points. Peter, you can go to the toilet, and we're done.